Hi, 5th graders! It's great to see you again. My name's Miss Malpika, and today we're doing Fantasy Reading Lesson 3, The Problems and the Quest. In the first two lessons, we covered what you expect to find at the beginning of a story, the setting and the characters. So now we're ready to move on to the problem. The learning target is I explain how the problems connect to other parts of the story, so we're doing part to whole, and evaluate the problems to determine the quest. The quest is a special kind of problem only found in fantasy stories. So first we list the problems. In the first part of your book, you found the problems in your story. The book I'm reading, Rowan of Rin, has 3 really clear problems in the very beginning of the story. There's no water. There's a dragon on top of the mountain, and that's where the water comes from. And I don't know if you noticed this, but the people of Rin are not supposed to show any fear or any sadness, and that's a problem. Then you need to consider how each of those problems affects the characters, the plot, and the themes. That's part to whole. So for example, we have the problem of no water. This is the main problem of the whole story. If there's no water, then the Bookshar are going to die, which leads to having no milk and no cheese and no butter and no cloth and no harvest. So in other words, the whole village is going to collapse. So the problem of no water affects the characters and it affects the whole plot of the story. Then there's this second problem of the dragon. The dragon, clearly everyone's afraid of the dragon. And that affects whether or not they can solve the problem of the water. So, the character of the dragon affects all the other characters. And then lastly, we have the problem that the people don't show their true feelings. And when people don't show your true feelings, then no one is honest and people get hurt because truth is hidden. And a problem like that is really showing theme. So one theme in Rowan of Rin might be people should be honest to avoid hurting other people. After you've read and thought and written about the problems and how the problems connect to other parts of the story, how the problem is affected by the setting, or how the problem affects other characters, or how the problem might lead to potential themes and lessons in the story, then you're ready to do the quest. And the quest is an amazing, special part of fantasy stories. A quest is like a journey or someplace they're going to go in order to solve the problems of the story. In this particular story, a group is going to have to climb the mountain, face the dragon, and face their feelings, and restore water to save the animals and therefore the people of Rin. So the quest is like this giant problem, this journey that encompasses all the problems of your story. Now it's your turn. First, read your assigned chapters in your book. If you're not sure what to read, contact your teacher. Then write about the problems and the connections to the other parts of the story. Now, I made a chart like this, where I listed all the problems, and then wrote about how this problem affects other parts of the story, and I listed specifically what were the connections to other characters, to the problem, to the plot, to the theme. But you don't have to make a chart. You don't have to do it this way. You could just write for a bit. What are the problems of your story, and how are those problems connecting to other parts of the story? Then, after you finish writing about the problems and the connections, you get to write about the quest. And this is such a special part of fantasy stories. Remember, the quest is like a journey. It's all of the problems combined into one great problem. What's this story going to be about? The quest that the characters need to go on to solve the problem. Then, turn your assignment in. Send it to your teacher and let us know if you need any help. That's all for this week. Can't wait to hear from you and to learn about the problems and the quests of your story, and we'll move on again next week. Bye, 5th graders.